Okay, Charlotte Johnson and Warwick, and we're looking at Unit 12, which is your documentary. So, first, what's the evaluation? What's the ability? First task was to analyse other documentaries and sort of look at what you could take from those and what you've learned from those, and apply that to your own documentary. The work that you've done, the analysis that you've done, is really good, really well detailed. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I should have put that on silent. Is really well detailed. So, as far as your actual breaking down of the documentary goes, it's very good, it's very well done. There's not as much technical information as we could have had as far as how the camera work was set up, angles used, lighting used. In this situation, you're outside, so that's not so much of a problem. But indoors, have we got lights in there, or is it just looks like it's just the light in the ceiling by the shape of the shadows, possibly? So think about the technical elements as well as the theory. So the theory is really good, really good. The technical's not quite as strong. And as far as breaking it down and taking information out of that to use in your own production, we've got quite a small amount, but not there's not that much information directly relating to. So what you've done is done to a really good standard. It's done very well, but we haven't got as much technical information. And how you talked about what you used in your own production, again, some but not as much as you could have put in there. So with your final major project, make sure that all the research that you've done, and this is the same for your topic-specific research as well, exactly the same situation with that. Make sure that all of the research that you do, you actually talk about what you've learned, because there's no point in doing research if you don't take stuff from it and use that to help you make your own production. So again, your research, topic-specific research, was really well detailed. I found myself getting very interested in this place. I want to go there now and have a look around. I found myself getting really interested in it, and then all of a sudden the research was pretty much over, and you hadn't really got a plan of exactly what it was that you wanted to get across to us, and how you were going to use the technology to do that, or what you'd found out in your research that you decided you really wanted to tell us about. So that's where the issue lay in your research with this bit as well. The work you've done is very well done, really good standard, loads of information, but you're just not telling us what you've learned and how you're going to use it. So that's what's happened with those three. Production itself, really solid. I know you've had feedback on that already, but when on screening day. So yeah, production very well done. Loads of information given. So you've got 2 grades for production. One is how you delivered the information, so the camera work and lighting and the setup, and the next bit is the information that was actually given over. So yeah, very high on both of those, merit distinction. Yeah, it was really well done. A few lighting issues, which is understandable considering you're underground. So a bit of a challenge there, which with more access to the location, you probably would have been able to sort of come up with solutions to that a bit more easily, but it didn't quite, wasn't as well shot as it could have been, but it was still really well done. Audio was, I can't actually, I can't remember there being any major problems with it at all. But yeah, the lighting was a bit of an issue. And as far as the information that you got across, again, it felt a little bit, not slapdash, but it felt a little bit unprepared. And I think, again, more access to it initially with recce shots of your own, and maybe a trial film kind of thing in there would have brought that up to full distinction. But still very, very good, really, really good production, very interesting. Evaluation, is that one there?
That's a surprise.
Why?
Because I normally get past my evaluation.
Well, you did something right this time then. The evaluation was really strong. You broke down every section. You talked clearly about what you'd learned about your skills, things that, the planning and preparation that you went through as far as being so far away and having to organise getting their accommodation and everything else. You talked about how you felt about the overall production, technical issues, technical skills, how you feel about the skills that you developed as well. Like using the background because gosh, it looks spooky. I say you put a little bit in about your feedback. The only thing really that was missing from your evaluation was talking the last paragraph where you say these are the bits that didn't go quite so well, so this is my plan of how I'm going to be better at them, ready for next time. I still feel it's a distinction level evaluation, but I would say absolutely make sure that you've got a paragraph at the end just saying, this is what I want to improve upon, and these are the steps I'm going to take. Not next time I will do this, but this is what I'm going to do between now and next time to make sure I'm better, to make sure I've had more time with the camera, to make sure I've had more time. So for your project now, you're looking at computer aid design, aren't you? You're using basically CAD design. So you're not going to be worrying too much about computer camera or anything like that. But in your evaluation at the end, even though it's a final major project, we still expect you to sort of identify things that you'd like to improve upon to advance your skills ready for where you're going to university, whatever it is. So you'd be saying something along the lines of, just presumably, really proud of my production. However, I feel that I could have maybe managed my time a little better, and this is just, I'm not saying you're not going to, but maybe I could have managed my time a little better, which would have enabled me to get a bit more detail in this particular section. And then what you'd do is you'd say, in order to achieve this, I'm going to start using a calendar more regularly on projects to make sure I've got my time management, and I'm going to practice more with the software to make sure that I'm faster with it and I'm more aware of how long the processes take, that kind of thing. So it's not just saying what I want to do better, it's saying how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to get it in place. Overall, honestly, your project was really good. The technical elements and the evaluation of it were really, really strong. The research was very good, but you just you didn't sum up what you'd learned and how that was going to help you. And that's the only thing that was missing, really. Just what I've learned and how it's going to help me make my production was the only bit that was missing. Technically, the challenge that you were faced with filming in such a dark environment with so much detail everywhere. You rose to that really well, considering that you yourself have said that camera isn't necessarily your favourite aspect, your strongest point, but you still did an incredible job with it. So yeah, overall, really, really, really solid project. Very, very pleased. Just aim with your final major project to make sure that at the end of each section of research, not at the end of each paragraph, at the end of each topic, you talk about what you've learned and how that's going to help you with your project. Just do it as you're going through, do it, and just to make sure that you're definitely bringing these M's up to D's. But there's no reason why you can't get that in your final major project.
Variations on the one that gives me a bad grade.
But yeah, there's no reason why you can't get a distinction in your final major project at all. You're definitely capable, you're intelligent and hardworking and slightly less distracted now than you were a couple of months ago, let alone a year ago. You seem to be a totally different person now than you were a year ago, far more focused and driven, which is brilliant, wonderful. So yeah, just make sure, summarise the research. This is what I've learned, this is how I'm going to use it, and that's it.
Okay.
Questions? All right, brilliant.
Thank you.
Well done.